Hey, what's going on, guys? This is COBRA1, and today I got a guest on my show. So I was doing a TikTok live, and I met a guy. We started chatting, and he's got a story that he wants to share with you guys. So let me introduce my good buddy Seydou. What's going on, Seydou?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good, man. So tell us where you're from and grew up, and why'd you join the army?
Gotcha. So my name is Seydou Yague, and I was born in Columbus, Ohio, and I was raised by my parents who immigrated from Senegal, West Africa. So when I was 4, my parents sent me back to Senegal for 3 years. I think this was around like the early 2000s. And that time I had an uncle who have been in the military over there. And my uncle, he was well respected during his time in service and made many good friends. He also traveled other countries, and he had visited a friend. So basically I had an uncle that was in, so that inspired me to want to be part of the military as a kid. And growing up, he recommended I join the American military instead. He told me I'll get more recognition from the world and all other good stuff. And I remember in the fall of 2009, my sister and I returned to the United States, and we were picked up at the JFK airport in Queens, New York. So at that time, my family lived in Harlem for the next few years. And I remember watching a movie called Black Hawk Down. Everybody know about Black Hawk Down, right?
Everybody knows Black Hawk Down, man. It's one of the videos.
It was
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It was, yeah. It was so basically. It was about people in Delta Force, Special Forces, Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
who were among the best that were sent to Somalia. And the movie came out in 2001. I was born October 3rd, 2001, and it's among one of the best military movies I saw growing up. And it was based on a true story because it took place in Mogadishu, October 3rd, 1991. So I was born October 3rd, 2001. So the same month and day, but a different year. I became interested in the military after we got back to America. So I'll say that movie inspired me to be part of it. Because looking at it as a kid, I thought you're walking up to a brotherhood. You're like part of one of the greatest organizations in the world.
Yep.
Even though back then those were low-key military propaganda, but as a kid you don't know that. You're like, this is good. I wanna be part of this. So you think the most like growing up, I wanted to do the most moral and honorable thing to do is serve your country, and go to war. And during elementary school and middle school, I felt a passion for joining the military, which grew my confidence as well. Don't get me wrong. I wrote this. This was like something. It's like my little diary I wrote. So I'm reading it to you. I've been writing this for like a year. So I met an army recruiter, and he told me about serving the country. But unfortunately, that time I was 14. So this was around 2016. He told me I can't join right now. He said I could join right after high school, but me being me, I ended up taking his advice. I told him, let me be patient, because it was the Army Greens that inspired me to join the Army. It was the Army Greens.
The old dress uniform from the 2000s?
Yeah, the Army Greens, not the Desert Storm, the Greens. But I heard everybody hated it. Which, I had no idea, because they've been telling me it don't blend in with the environment, correct?
The ACU uniform, they did with the UCP pattern. Yeah, that doesn't blend in with anything. It was adopted because a general. So OCP, what we had on active duty, came out in 2002 at the same time as UCP, Universal Camo Pattern. The general had a deal with the guys who ran the company that made UCP, and he got a lot of money for it, apparently, and that's how the uniform got adopted. If you get it dirty with your environment, like let's say you're in the jungle and you wipe mud from the jungle on it, it'll work. The problem is as you know, we got to clean shit in the military, so they fucking got rid of it for obvious reasons. Like, dude, when I joined, the ACUs were still authorized to wear. Nobody was wearing that shit. As soon as the
Of course.
OCPs came out, they switched immediately. People burned them. They had celebration bonfires where they burned those uniforms. It was
Oh
crazy.
man, that sucked. But meanwhile, the Marines had all the cool uniforms. The Marines had the same thing. Okay, and also like I remember watching a documentary in the History Channel.
Of course.
Yeah, so like I watched the documentary where you had a bunch of devil dogs, deployment to Afghanistan. That also inspired me being part of the military. Because, dude, all that shit was a badass. When I was like 13 years old, seeing that stuff, seeing Marines in Afghanistan, I thought like that shit was cool though. Right. So what was it? So I say I grew up in a faithful home. My family would spend time, at seminaries, and I remember during my last year of high school, I had a lot of friends who were close with God. They told me about the faith and how I need to be closer to it. So they gave me a King James book, which I read, Matthew, Psalms, and Luke. It opens my eyes a lot about Jesus and encouraged me. It encouraged me to follow the path of righteousness,
Right on, bro. Right on.
Yeah. So this was around like, I think this was around like 2020 or between 2022. So, give me a second. Also, I attended a chapel service, and they talked about like the Genesis, Matthew, and how you should use the Bible scripture to help you with your journey. So around 2020, I dropped out of school, and I said, hey, because when I went to school, it was because of my mother. Even though I was not really passionate in it, I was still passionate in joining the U.S. Army. You know what I mean? So
when you have that drive, sorry to cut you off. When you have that drive, it eats at you, and the only thing you can do is just run at it. That's the way I describe it. I'm pretty sure we all have that in common when we join.
Yes. Because let me tell you, like, I don't know what is it with the Army. It's just it sounded very appealing to me since a kid. I don't know the other branches. So I wanted to join the United States Army, and I remember back in 2023, I went to a recruiting office, and I remember they talked about every MOSs. I told them like, hey, is it like, so I basically went to the combat MOS, So basically, they told me, oh, because like the recruiter was a tanker. You already know, he's a tanker. He'll find ways to talk me not to be an infantryman, So I remember what he said. He said, hey, as a tanker, you rank up quick, right? Like, he wasn't wrong. You do rank up quick, though, but he didn't tell me a lot of those people are dumb as rock, dude.
I noticed this with guys from mech infantry units. You may be good and mechanically inclined. You may know how to drive and move a vehicle, but I don't know. I saw it. You kind of lose common sense, because I grew up airborne and light infantry my whole time in. And I met the mech guys. They all had the same thing in common. And tankers just literally tanks, but same concept. You're in an armored tracked vehicle. They just, I don't know. They were just dumb as fuck. And I don't mean to insult them, but I think being in the tracked vehicle made them dumb as fuck. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, for hood, like, we have heavy infantry, which is like the Bradleys. But you was light infantry, right? Because you said Fort Campbell, Fort Bragg, light infantry.
Yeah, I was airborne and then air assault, which, I mean,
actual infantryman. That's actual infantryman. That's not some infantryman that's been altered. You know what I mean?
If you're an 11 Bravo, 11 Charlie, you still 11 Bravo and Charlie. You all get on the ground and do the same thing. So I'm not out here insulting any infantrymen, but just my experience, I noticed light infantry and airborne infantry, so 101st, 10th Mountain, 25th. It was just, like, it's infantry.
Hey, the blue cord. Oh yeah. So yeah. Where was that at? So he told me about being a tanker. So I took it. So, and I went to MEPS. So let me tell you, MEPS was easy because they couldn't find nothing, no disqualifying factor on me. So here's the thing. Wait. Here's the thing. I almost went to the Army Reserves. Almost. But I switched active duty and it took some tanker MOS. Because, like, you know, when I went to the VA, it showed that I was a reserve member for 1 week. Then it showed active duty. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. But I'm glad I went active duty, though. I'm glad I went federal side. So I ended up enlisting, and I remember I went to a place called 30th AG. You know 30th AG, Fort Benning, Georgia?
Yes, I still... Dude, you're bringing back some terrible memories. Like, holy fuck.
Oh, man, let me tell you, that place was worse than my whole base in Austin. So,
dude,
when I came...
Sorry to cut you off, but I do have something to say. One time, like, I have CPTSD, right? You know, from my leadership messing with me, my time in Iraq, jumps that I've been on, seeing bodies, you know, because, like, I've seen soldiers get mangled by a Humvee that flipped over. I saw a tornado rip through Fort Campbell's town, and so I've seen stuff. But let me tell you something. Nothing haunts me more than 30th AG, and it's insane. I was scrolling through Facebook. I just described what trauma I had in my life, right?
Right.
I scrolled through Facebook, and something about 30th AG pops up. And I don't know what happened with me. When I saw this post, I fucking snapped and went, I'm not in 30th AG anymore. I'm not in 30th AG anymore.
Man, let me tell you, that I swear, that place is designed for psychological torture. But don't get me wrong, like, a lot of them drill sergeants were assholes, like, man. And I remember when I got there, I heard a lot of them, I heard they went too far on basic training, where,
so,
that's where they send the drill sergeants who fuck up.
So we had when I was at Campbell, we had a dude who left the trail, and he was a drill sergeant before he came to Campbell, and he told us that,
right.
He told us, right, you can end up at 30th AG as a new drill sergeant now. However, through history, and I know this from drill sergeants I talked to in 30th, that the guys who show up at 30th usually went way too far. Like, our senior drill in 30th AG was smoking dudes so hard that they puked, and then made them do push-ups in their pukes. So they were like, you're done. And they put them in 30th AG.
What? That is insane. Yo, what the hell? I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them drill sergeants be having shit be going on at home. So, you know, the best way is to take the angers on the trainee, though.
That is true. He was an insane senior drill. He was SF, got out, ran a business, made way more money than he ever dreamed, and for some reason got back in, went through basic again. He told us his story, and
why would he go back in? Like, dude, like, you're out now. Like,
I'm gonna answer that, buddy. The same reason you and I want to go back in. Remember that.
Oh yes, but sometimes I guess we look at stuff different when dude is a special forces. I'm like, you went to some shit, dude. Like, multiple deployments, like, but, you know, you can't judge, man. Sometimes people miss the structure, or they just miss being part of something bigger than them, you know?
Or the people, like.
Yes, I met some cool ass people, man. I'm like scouts. I was cool with a lot of infantrymen. Don't get me wrong. And my battalion, when they cast, I was cool with a lot of them. The Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was I at? So doing 30th AG. So there was this drill sergeant. I think he was a drill sergeant. His name was Sergeant Crooks. Let me tell you, like, dude, like, every time, dude, you could tell dude is going through some shit. Like, every time he just be telling us about life. And he said, you think this is bad? Just wait till you get to your unit.
Yep, I remember that. He was an asshole, but one thing he was honest about. He said, sometimes your biggest enemy could be the people next to you. He talked about how people did him dirty, how his unit was trying to set him up to fail. He also talked about, hey, once you sign that dotted line, you're a government property, you know? And he also brought up, hey, when it's time to call, you know, don't say you can't do it, because you signed that dotted line, which he wasn't wrong. So I was at 30th AG for 3 weeks, because we're tankers, so, you know, our OSIC training is very slow.
Man, let me tell you, man, it was 3 weeks in Ocean. 3 weeks at 30 of age, it was crazy. Every time Joe Sergeant would just fuck with us, they'll wake us up middle of the morning, middle of the night. You know, Fire Guard?
Yep.
I hated that shit. Fire Guard was so. They say it's to prevent suicide, but
I mean, it probably induced suicide ideation in service members with the way they do it in 30th AG, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, looking at it, that was a good thing. And I remember when the time came up, we got picked up by our drill sergeants. So when we got picked up by drill sergeants, we had, man, it was I miss it, man. It was a good experience back then. Going back in 2023, man, it was cool as fuck. I remember the drill sergeants were yelling, get out the fucking bus. You're not a civilian no more. And you're gonna call us. And you never heard about a tunnel run, right? That's infantry and scouts.
Yeah.
Oh, you know about the tunnel run?
The tunnel. So, when I went through in 2017, I never drove a bus to basic from 30th. We walked.
Really?
We walked.
What?
They got cattle trucks. So here's what they did with us. They got cattle trucks. We loaded one duffel bag up with items, and then the other duffel bag we put on our backs. And we were in PTs. They assigned us to our platoons. I got assigned to 4th platoon, and we walked. And from where we were, I was in 219. It was 2 miles.
219.
And you know that road, the hill goes up and down like a roller coaster. We walked that shit. And then when we got there,
Sand Hill, that's where the infantrymen are trained.
yeah, we went there on Sand Hill to 219. We get in formation, and they immediately start fucking us up. And they start with the shark attack.
Oh, back then they had the shark attack.
Yeah, drill sergeants were smacking us in the face with their brims, knife handing us. Yes, dude, that was a real thing during the shark attack. Like, it didn't happen as often if you were squared away. So during the shark attack, at least everyone got smacked in the face by the brim of the brown round hat. It happened to me. It happened to another guy. I got slammed. You know those brick pillars? I got slammed into a brick pillar by a drill sergeant because one soldier was fucking up, and I was holding my duffel bag over my head.
Really?
And I dropped that shit on my head. I was so fucking mad at that dude. He ended up getting kicked out of the Army National Guard. He was also the fuck up in our platoon.
Oh.
Outside of the shark attack, he would fuck up so bad, but where we would learn, he fucked up so bad, the drill sergeants would start smacking him in the face with the brim of their hat. I remember 3 drill sergeants took turns smacking him in the face with the brim of their hats. He was standing at parade rest shaking, sweating, and crying. It was hilarious. And he was crying during the shark attack. He was doing his push-ups. He was like, "Ah!" So all the drill sergeants honed in on him. That's why I got slammed into a wall. He's holding his duffel bag over his head. Ah! I was mad, but when I looked at him, I went, okay, I see why he did that. But anyway, hey, don't let me. This is your interview, so keep going. What was it like for you?
It was nice sharing though, but also like, how you get kicked out being a weekend warrior? Like you're a part-time soldier. What the fuck? That is insane,
dude. That man is a whole podcast. He's that in a bag of chips. He's just it's one of those sit-down sessions, man.
Yeah, them weirdos. Also, you know what's crazy? I went to basic training with the scouts for 10 weeks. So
19 deltas.
Yeah, but let me tell you, somehow I'm gonna say this, bro. And maybe it's to my experience. They had it easier than us tankers. I don't know why.
So can I tell you, there is something gayer than the United States Navy. You know what it is?
What is it?
U.S. Army Cavalry Scouts.
Of course, and they said the Army said they were going to get rid of the MOS and replace it with 19 Charlotte, which is the Bradley crewmen.
They are the most, dude. So, in any infantry division in the Army, you've got 3 in every brigade. You got 3 infantry battalions, and then you have a cavalry regiment or a cavalry squadron. Sorry. And in that cavalry squadron, you have troops. Same thing as a battalion, but instead of calling them companies, you call them troops. So A troop, B troop, whatever. Every troop is 19 deltas except for C troop. That's Brigade Scouts. Those are 11 Bravos. Of all the troops in the squadron, guess who does the recon?
Oh,
The 11 Bravos and C Troop.
Damn, of course.
Yeah.
But you know what them scouts, dude? Like I heard, one thing about them. I mean, their job is pretty it's pretty. You know, I guess not everyone could do it though, because like they have to learn how to do land nav, all that good shit. So like I was saying.
Infantrymen do that. No, sorry to cut you off. I just gotta say, infantrymen do that too. But I could say that 19 Deltas are the gayer version of infantry, and I think
I swear to God, like when I first heard about it, man, I that's how I looked at it. I'm like, you guys are just the gayer version of infantry.
Exactly.
Y'all want to be infantry so bad, literally. Like my first sergeant was a scout, also a piece of trash.
I got a story for you, man. When I was in 30th AG,
right,
one of the drill sergeants we had was a 19 Delta. The man would not shut the fuck up.
You just keep talking?
Dude, you know how, like, alright, so they're like, you gotta drink 3 Camelbacks a day. At least that's how it was when I went to 30th. It was July when I was in 30th. Like, you gotta drink 3 Camelbacks a day and all this shit. And they were like, I'm standing here. This dude was talking about the same thing. And I'm about to piss myself. And the other dudes are like this too. So while he was talking, we, like 6 dudes, we took off sprinting into the barracks to go to the bathroom and sprint back. And I'm glad he didn't catch us. But we were like, you know what, fuck this. We're going to piss our pants. We got to go. And this dude, man, he had a hard-on for the cavalry. He was like, listen up, privates. Cav Scouts are the greatest thing ever. 1 Cav Scout can do what 5 infantrymen can do. And he would talk about it for hours. Like, shut the fuck up.
Dude, the Army, let me tell you, like, the Army, you will find so many personality in the Army. It could be from very good to very shitty. It's just crazy. Because, like, me, like, when I went to a scout company, so the first sergeant was a tanker. Let me see, look, I'm going to go back to my pictures 3 years ago, or to see if I can find the tank he brought us in on our lax basic training FTX. I'll send it to you also. So
cool. Bring it. Hold up. Send it to me and I'll pop it up I'll edit it into the over me so everyone can see it. But hey, hold on a second too though. My battery's dying. Let me put a fresh battery in. Also glad I brought spare batteries. So let's take a quick break. I will be back, everybody. Hey guys, we're back. Sorry, had to put a fresh battery in. Alright, Seydou, we're live. Continue off wherever you wanted to leave off on.
Alright, bet. So I remember finishing OSIT, like 22 weeks of being a tanker, man. It was one of the best feelings I ever had. Like, you know, knowing that I accomplished something. I was the first one in my family to do it in statewide, though, you know. And it was just amazing. Will I go back, man? Honestly, I'll go back and do it all over again. But, you know, I feel like that time it was because of God. And also, I remember my first sergeant said this. He said, we can't get out of the tank yet because it's government classified. I'm like, what are you talking about, first sergeant? So, you know what he did? He played this little picky game. He made the tankers look inside, but he did not let the scout look inside. It was so funny. So, and you know, my place of duty station was Fort Hood, 1st Cavalry Division. I was in 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. So I got there around like 2024, and I remember the process, dude. It was pretty chill back in 2024. It wasn't so much retardation, you know, because the leadership back then.
Sorry, my car. Roll my windows down. My car was misfiring a little bit. It was just idling hard. Well, not. It was idling hard, so I shut the car off so the camera wouldn't be shaking. But anyway, go back to where you were at.
Yeah, so I remember in 2024, you know, back then, when I got there, it wasn't too much crazy, you know, because the officers we had back then, they were like experienced. They were not like some retarded butter bar from West Point, you know. They had some incompetence. And I remember when I was in, I was in Alpha Company 1A CAF. So here's the thing: I was supposed to go to 49, which is a predominantly scout unit, but so they fucked us over. So the last minute from Pegasus, the last minute we got patched and the CAF, they changed my unit. Me and the other 10 dudes. They told, and I remember the command sergeant major said this. You guys are going to gunnery. So we know gunnery already. So we were shocked. So like, we were like, oh, we're not going to Fortnite Academy anymore. He said, no. I'm like, dude, fuck. Dude, we got fucked that day. And my buddy, he said, nah, fuck this shit. I'm gonna find ways to get out of this because this is some bullshit. Because remember, they was telling us we were supposed to go to another unit, and that unit was preparing to go to the field in 2 weeks. So, you know, I remember meeting with the first sergeant, his first sergeant Greg. He was a tanker, and he told us this. He told us, "Welcome to 1A CAF. We got 2 tank companies, and he also told us about all the soldiers who got kicked out for pissing hot, all that stuff." I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then dude gave us 3 hours to pack. 3 hours to pack. Actually, 2.
Pack for what?
It was to go to gunnery, to go to the field. So we spent a month in gunnery. It was just wild.
Gunnery? Hold on a second here. So, like, again, I was in the light infantry. Whenever we did gunnery, because I was also into deco, but we don't have heavy weapons in a light infantry unit. When you're in a deco, you have the Mark 19, the ITAS, TOW. Gunnery would take maybe a week. Well, a fucking month? Is that normal?
Nah, that was not normal, dude. That was some bullshit. Because they always ask some extra training.
That's just not necessary. You focus on what you need and you go home. Here, doing gunnery. All right, we're going back. Like, dude, a month doing gunnery?
We always end up for a month. I swear, every time we do gunnery, we be there for almost a month. Like, the last gunnery I had last year, we were there for a whole month. That was longer than my NTC rotation. I'm not kidding.
I was gonna say, man, it sounds like a NTC, JRTC rotation. It's fucking gunnery.
That's the CAFs. I'm telling you, that's the CAFs. We had refits. You know about the refits? You go out, you go home for a couple hours, shower. But that's the CAFs, man. They take that shit to a whole next level. CAFs are crazy.
That's why, as an infantryman, I hate CAF scouts.
I swear to God, the whole Stetson, I'm like, dude, y'all got a whole suicide problem, but y'all want to brag though. We the first team. I mean, get out of here. They got so many shit leaderships, and it's embarrassing. So I remember when they took us in. So they told me. So he put me on a 2-4 tank, a PSG, by the way, dude. Dude was a master gunner, sergeant first class. His name was Sergeant Swayze. So I was on him. I told him, hey, Sergeant, I'm not good driving a tank. I feel like it's better for you to put me on the loading station because you know, and when you're in OSET, they really don't teach you how to operate a tank. They just teach you how to conduct your 50 cal, your 240. You know, how to load your main gun. So you know, as a tanker, there's impact, heat, there's savo, but the heat we don't use the heat no more because that's out of service. So they didn't teach us more how to operate the tank. So I was honest with him. And he told me, sure. Then one time, you know, I was trained by the squad, who was it, a staff sergeant? Or this guy was a shitbag. And I heard he always failed every PT test. Somehow he's a staff sergeant, though.
Sounds like Fort Hood. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think he was Mexican. I think dude was just weird, man. He was just weird. So so he was training me how to drive the tank, and every time when I fuck up, dude would just be an ass. So he's like, "Relax, fucking chill." I'm like, "Damn, dude." And that time I was a private, so I remember you talked about a video like you had a private that sucked at something, but the NCOs were like bitching at him, saying, "Why do you suck?" I basically went through that same experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that sucks.
Yeah. And every time, that time they were still looking at me like I was a shitbag soldier, but I didn't give a fuck. So let's say when we came back from the field, a couple months later, that's when my mental health was starting to decline. But it wasn't bad though, you know. I didn't go to behavioral health, nothing. But it was starting. I know that it was starting to decline. So I kept that to myself. So one time. So and also they were showing how to say ostracize me.
ostracized. So you know what that means, right?
Yeah, so basically, they've been telling people that I was a shitty soldier because I fucked up at gunnery. I mean, you took a brand new soldier to the field. Like, how stupid can you be? And he told you he can't drive a tank, right?
I hate that shit. So, there's dudes in the fucking army, in the military.
Yeah,
you went up there, hey, sorry, I want to tell you, I don't know what OSO was like when you did it, but they didn't teach us what I think we were supposed to know. I don't know how to drive a tank, and this is it's a fucking tank. I think you should be licensed on it and an expert, because God forbid you ran somebody over. God forbid you ran somebody over and killed them. Like, you were like, hey, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, and then goes behind your back after you said, yeah, sure, telling everyone you're a bad soldier. Why don't you get off your fat ass and teach your soldier how to drive a tank? Like I remember this one time. I won't drag this on. This fucking dude. We had a new guy, and I'd left the platoon at this point. I was in 2nd platoon. I was in 1st platoon in my old unit in 2 Fury. He was doing a reload drill, and 1st platoon loved fucking people up. So this kid was so nervous, he loaded his magazine in his M4 backwards. Well, this dude who coincidentally got kicked out for DUI said, yo, so-and-so's just not meant for this. That dude loaded his magazine in backwards. Like, he made one mistake and now he's a shitbag. Now he's not meant for the military. Like, I can't understand people like that, you know?
I swear, it's like the amount of retardation, dude. The army changed a lot, and a lot of time it changed for the worse. Like, low key, like when I see a lot of these higher up talk, I see where they're coming from though. Like, because you know, because he made one big mistake. You want to say, oh, he's not fit for the army life. Meanwhile, sometimes some of these people be cheating on their wife the whole time, trying to go sleep with a stripper.
Bro, when I was in Poland, man, sorry to cut you off. We had E7, we had E5s, we had multiple married soldiers between the ranks of E4 and E7 just going out in the town in Mielik and in Zhezhou occasionally, cheating on their wives. And you're just like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, I'll never do that. And I was a Bible thumping soldier, so you know, so later on, you know, I was starting to make some friends, and a lot of them noticed that, hey, like I was a good soldier to be around. They asked me, what do? I told them most of the time I just go to chaplain service. I do. Like, once I drop out of work 2 hours, I have somebody pick me up, you know, Army veteran, you know, good dude, you know, his name was Ron Corbett, and you know, every time he'll pick me up, so service would be from 7:30, and we would have a fellowship, and that really put me in a good spirit. And the pastor was just amazing, you know. And I met that's where I met all my 3CR buddies, you know. They're infantrymen. They left the unit, though. They told me Vanessa Guillen gave the unit a bad rep, which I guess they did.
So my team leader that I had in Iraq, Sergeant Gilliam, he's in White Devils 82nd now. He's a phenomenal leader. Like, his uncle was 82nd, that's why he went to Fort Bragg. I'll tell you what, though, I hate Fort Hood. 3CR, what you said is 100%. 3CR made him. He was book smart, he was SOP smart, and he knew how to combine the two. Like when I patrolled with him, I just watched him and went, all right, this dude knows what he's doing. And some people didn't like him because they thought he was a little awkward, but he was an excellent soldier. He knew his shit. 3CR, like, there's units in every division you go that are just culturally amazing, and 3CR is that unit. So if you go to Fort Hood, guys, you want to go to 3CR.
Man, I mean, don't get me wrong, Fort Hood was shit, but I kind of low-key miss Fort Hood, but I want to go to 3CR. Dude, I mean, okay, what was that at again? So one time, I remember my TC was a jackass, you know, Kevin Beswazy. Dude was also an alcoholic, and he deployed to Afghanistan, so I knew he was dealing with some psychological issues, you know. He was not a bad dude, but, you know, every time he's on the tank, you know, he becomes like a full-blown asshole. Like, I remember one time, dude, like, when we was on our field training, dude, so basically I made a wrong stop because he ain't tell me to turn right. So you want to know what this fucker did?
What did he do?
This fucker went and told people I almost crashed the tank, which was not true. Crash what tank? Are you kidding me? Sergeant first class?
Dude, I got a similar story. In my when I was in a deco, we had this dude in our platoon, and he just, I don't know, he had mental problems.
Whole day, he don't check up on what's going on with the soldiers. A lot of miscommunication, you know. And dude was a scumbag, an asshole. Like every time you could tell, dude just hated his life. Or I think he got butthurt because he's on a PSG position. Because I don't know what is it. I heard if you're a staff sergeant or the platoon sergeant position, you don't get credit for it. Don't know how true is that.
So the way that works when you become an NCO, and they had just changed this when I became an E5, you have what's called KD time. That means key developmental time. When you're a corporal, you don't get it. And then it used to be, in order to promote, you had to do 2 years of KD time as a sergeant, so team leader. In 2021, they changed it. So for E5 and below, there's no KD time. And I took advantage of that. I tried to stay in E5 as long as I could. My goal was to be in E5 as long as I could and gain as much experience. Because I did not want to fast track to staff sergeant. I wanted to be a trigger puller, you know what I mean? I wanted to influence guys as much as I could. And also, the responsibility. So when you become a staff sergeant, you become a squad leader. You get 2 years of KD time, and you get what's called KD locked. Like, you're locked in. You have to do that 2 years of KD time in order to promote. If you don't do it, you can retire as a staff sergeant, but promoting to sergeant first class becomes more difficult and you're impossible. Then when you promote to sergeant first class, you have to do 2 years of KD time as a sergeant first class. Otherwise, you can't promote to E8. That's still standard today. However, if your KD time complete as a squad leader, you go to staff. That's why it's called a staff sergeant. That's why you see staff sergeants in S3, a fucking S4 and all that. Well, that's what happens when there's no one around to do a job. It's the same thing with the team leader. You just throw a specialist in charge.
Oh, yeah. They try to do that with me.
Exactly. Well, that's basically what a platoon sergeant E6 is. You're a specialist in charge, but you're in charge of the platoon. You're still a platoon sergeant, but it's let's say you were a platoon sergeant for 2 years and you were a staff sergeant the whole time. You have no KD time as a platoon sergeant.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, I think that's why he was acting the way he was doing, though.
So you get promoted. You go to SLC, senior leadership course, to become a sergeant first class. You get promoted, and then you wait, and then they go, hey, you're taking this platoon. And then you have to do 2 years of KD time as a platoon sergeant. So now you're a platoon sergeant for 4 years, but out of all the time you did, only 2 of them count. That's where you're at there, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. So this time, and this was another sergeant, too. When am I tell you, there was another piece of junk sergeant. His name was Serrano, some Mexican dude from LA. You know what the piece of shit told me? He told me, why you always like smiling? Like, you don't be pissed off coming to work sometime? I'm like, what are you talking about, sorry? I'm like, why? He said, I'm just playing with you, Yague. But let me tell you, I knew that man never liked me, which was like, okay, I get it. Some people will not like you for no reason. So since I've been at the Army, this fucker been telling people I got other than honorable. I'm like, where are you getting this story from where? What did I do to get other than honorable?
First of all, when I got chaptered out, I only got a DD-214 that said honorable unsat performance. You got an honorable discharge certificate. So,
right, but they don't know that. They think I got less than honorable because they're stupid. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So around this time, the platoon was starting to be on some bullshit. So let's say they make us, and let me tell you, every time when we show up for formation, bro, they don't know how to come on time, bro. Like, we Joes, even the E4, we will be there before our leadership, bro. Our leadership will show up around, like, 6:27 or 6:31, and the first sergeant will be like, where the fuck y'all at? They do this every day, bro.
You fucking do. In my first unit, we showed up at 5:45. You show up at 5:46, you're late. And then we get accountability, we fall into formation. Bro. And then in the 2 units I was after that, luckily they were reasonable. Show up at 06. You're late. But like, for your leadership to expect you to be on time and then show up after formation, because 6:31 is after, it's during, or after formation. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, at that point, you're running the formation, or they're probably not even running, they're walking, and then you got to stop and salute the flag. So first round's like, where the fuck you at? And it's like, oh, I showed up late, so I had to stop and salute the flag over here where you couldn't see me. Like, oh, don't show up late, fucker.
Every time, dude. They barely be. Sometimes some of them don't be even showing up. I swear to God. But somehow, I was a piece of shit though. Somehow, especially so it's a piece of shit in the platoon. I'm like, how sorry? Like, mind you, bro. I show up on time. I get shit done. Like, as a tanker, dude, I took care of that tank more than anybody else in my crew. Even the loader. Like, the loader, she was a cool though. I liked her. She was a Jamaican girl, cool as fuck, you know. Very humble. She was a very humble person, but she knew without me she would not survive in that tank. You know, and you know, shout out to her. She's good people. So, all right. So let's say we had like we went to section stick with them. We went to. So I think it was section stick was like 1 week. That was okay. Then it was platoon section. Then company, I think the platoon leader, she fucked up at platoon section. So one time, she told the specialist gunner to fire the main gun, but somehow, she ND'd in the range. I'm like, how the fuck do you ND on the range? You know what happened to her, to that bitch? Nothing. She ain't get a go more. She ain't get she still got promoted. But the specialist gunner Devo gets the Article 15. Devo was a CAF scout. You know, he came from a scout unit. So
he didn't know. So he didn't know. Like, you guys knew the gun. So like,
yeah. But
again, it's the teacher, not the student. Like, you already know this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like, if we get a dude, one time during JRTC, we were Op 4, so we were fighting our whole 1st Brigade in the 82nd back in 2019. We were undermanned, dude. This platoon, 1st squad was a fire team size element. 2nd squad was a fire team size element. Weapon squad was 2 gun teams. That was our whole platoon. That's nothing. That's like a third of what a platoon's supposed to be. So we needed extra guys. So we took our 2 supply guys, our supply corporal and his Joe, and we made them a gun team. Guess what? They technically ND'd. There was a striker that pulled up full of bad guys, and they did what they thought was right. They don't know. They took the 240 and they opened up on that motherfucker. Obviously, you know, 7.62 can't punch through a striker, but they didn't get articles for that. They didn't get in trouble. They didn't know because we didn't teach them. We were teaching them on the objective, how to do the job. Like, it's just stupid. If he doesn't know, is it really his fault? Some things, yeah, no. But no. Don't give him an article. Teach the motherfucker. Get off your ass and do your job. Engage team leaders. That's a common thing I heard. You got to be an engaged team leader.
So this time I was ready. You know, they're already spreading rumors about me, saying that somehow I'm a shitbag for some reason. For some reason, I'm a shitbag. I'm like, shitbag for what? Oh, because I don't do like extra shit. Like, I do what I'm told, and that's about it. I don't go far beyond my pay grade. Are you serious? Okay, so he had an Article 15. You know, with Devo, they fucked him over because sometimes he's a loader, he's a gunner. He's a loader, he's a gunner. They were trying to put him on a leadership position fast. I'm like, dude, it's a scout. He's not a tanker. He's a scout. Give him time to understand the tanker way. Like, what the fuck? Devo was a cool guy, though. Like, I liked him. You know, very high speed. He had the highest PG score in the platoon anyway, so they couldn't really shit talk him, though. So that happened.
I made a video. It's Lessons in Leadership 7, I think.
Yeah.
It was about how to motivate soldiers to PT harder, but at the same time, just because you got a good PT score doesn't mean you know shit.
Exactly. So that was he was that type of guy.
You can't sit in your office and go, oh my god, this guy's got a good PT score. He's got to be a team leader. Like, okay, this guy's got a lower PT score. He can't be a team leader. Meanwhile, that guy studies the job, studies the gun, knows the nomenclature.
That was me.
And
but somehow they say fuck me.
That's why you got to get out the office and leave and test your guys. Like, I don't know what like your skill level 1 handbook, for example, has literal tests of go and no go in it, kind of like EIB, ESB, EB3.
Oh yeah, gunnery.
There's a reason that the Army prints this doctrine. It's so when we're at the unit, let's just practice it. Get out the office and train with your guys. I was talking to a retired sergeant major. He said when he was a platoon sergeant, you had a shrimp map of the area where you were training, and everyone at a minimum showed up. It's our first class, and everyone below him showed up to make sure the training was done right. So everyone was always involved. Now people just sit in the office, text on their phones.
I swear to God.
And they just take the easiest route. Oh, this guy's got an IPD score. He must know what he's doing. Fuck, you indeed. Yeah, you were a Cav Scout, dude, but you know what? You're getting an article. How dare you not know a new job that you barely know yet? Like, what the fuck is that?
I know. I mean, they failed him, though. But, he was a cool guy, though. Dude was cool as fuck. I asked him, like, how do you take all this beating, dude? Like, every time you show up to work not giving a fuck. I'm like, he said I had it worse when I was a scout. He told me about, like, tankers yellow, like, y'all make shit difficult for no reason, which he was right. I mean, he was right. And one time I caught him in the weekends sweeping the motor pool. I wanted to speak to him, but I was in the car. I'm like, fuck, dude. I told him that shit was wrong. I'm like, but she don't get nothing. She don't get slap on her. She gets a slap on her wrist because she's an officer. Fuck that shit, dude.
Also, I'm not saying I would not, being that she's a female, nothing against females in service, but unfortunately, a lot of sexism in the Army. Females get away with way too much. Leaders get handled behind closed doors. Maybe she was. However, I'm agree with you.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agree with you on that because she was probably pretty too. So the pretty ones always get away with murder in the military. I swear to God.
She was okay. She was all right.
If she's like easy, same thing. If she's easy, it's the same thing as being pretty.
Yeah. And every time, unfortunately, that's what happened. So, all right. So I remember. So we were done with platoon stick. We did the M4 range. All right. So we're done. So far, we're done with the field, quote unquote. So the summer leave about to come. You know what the BC said?
What?
He said we're done for the training cycle for this year. After we come back, we're going to NTC. After NTC, we're gonna start packing the stuff. We're going to Europe. So we know that's a sack of shit. So I remember first I said, "Hey, we got gate guard." Then he told us it's gonna be a full week. So out of nowhere, the PSG pulled us to the side. So the PSG told us who's taking leave later on. So integrity. I shouldn't have raised my fucking hand, my goofy ass. I did. Then he told me, "Oh, you're on a gate guard." I'm like, "What the fuck, sorry?" Out of nowhere. Meanwhile, PSC so-and-so, the surface spoon guy, the one who feels height and weight, he gets to take his full leave, but somehow I have a whole gate guard. So that's when my mental health was starting to go into rapid shit, bro. Dude, my mental health declined a lot, dude. That shit fucked me up bad. Like, I was not in the right state of mind. So let me start explaining what happened. Let me gather some notes. Let me see, so I can read everything. Where is it? So I remember. So gate guard was from June. I think June something, mid-June all the way to near end of June, about 2 weeks or so. So I took summer leave from there in July 2025. I came back from summer leave, dude. I was mentally drained, dude. I was mentally not there. Like, it was wild. And I remember I told my NCO that I felt depressed and suicidal. I was referred to behavioral health. And mind you, bro, this was 2 weeks before our random surprise. We're going to Texas for.
And he had to bully people and get up in your face and try to feel good. So he was given a driver's test, and this dude did almost exactly what you did. He turned the wrong way, and this guy turned the story into him almost crashing a Humvee, and he failed his test. So his leadership's like, "Who is the instructor?" So-and-so. "Oh, that fat piece of shit, fuck that. No, you passed. Here's your license." Like, what the... Again, going back to what I was saying earlier, talk to him. Correct him. You're an NCO. Why are they bitching? Like, Seydou, why are they bitching about you behind your back instead of correcting you? If I was your team leader, I would have been like, "Hey, Seydou, you turned the wrong way. No big deal." And if somehow you did somehow cause an accident, first I would say, "Stop the fucking truck. You almost caused an accident. Don't do that again." And if nothing happened, I wouldn't have told anybody about it. I would have corrected you and moved on. You handle things at the lowest possible level. I don't
Thank you.
This is weird as fuck. He's a
It really
shitbag.
is.
Yet you're in charge.
Yeah.
You're his NCO, and you're not teaching him. I said this in videos before. Remember, it's the teacher, not the student.
Facts. It's like, yo, when I looking back at it, dude, they set me up to fail. I swear, they set me up to fail.
Toxic units, man. There's people in the Army that will do that. That's why you can't judge it by your first unit.
No, you can't. Unfortunately, I was not supposed to be in that unit, but you know how the Army is sometimes. Last minute, they switch your unit. So I remember him telling me that one time, and one time the first sergeant pulled me out the office. He told me, what you want to do? He told me, you want to move on with your life or you want to continue with the Army? I told him, I want to continue with the Army. I thought, what's going on? So basically, you know what this asshole decided? He's going to send me to Bravo Company. Dude, that tank company was shit. But so this was around like, so the old company commander was there, so it wasn't Bravo, you know, it wasn't crazy. It's just that like they know how to work on their tanks better than Alpha. They're not like lazy piece of shit. But everyone always talked bad about him. So he gave me those two options. I told him, why am I moving companies? He couldn't even answer the question. I'm like, oh, I see what my leadership fucking did. You see?
So what they did is so I moved companies when I was in the Army. When I got chaptered out, bro, my first sergeant, MCO, total retard, and my platoon sergeant, total retard and a bitch, looked at my soldier talent profile because I upset them and determined that I was fired multiple times. I went as far as to go to behavioral health and tell them this. And then they used that to determine that I had a personality disorder, which the VA has turned into PTSD and depression. Because I said, hey, I don't want to be in BCO anymore. They said, cool, boot you in DCO. Was there? I was like, oh, this is good. You know, and then I re-enlisted and went to Fort Campbell, got to a terrible company. 6 months later, I was like, all right, I'm done. I said, hey, can I move companies? Went to HHC in S3, where you're not supposed to be as 11 Bravo forever. That's temporary. And they're like, all right, hey, we're putting you in DCO. Okay, cool. And I was in DCO. And then I PCS'd back to Fort Bragg. And they determined all of that was, they fired him. So what they did with you is, even though it's literally, they could have just needed a guy. Hey, we need a guy to go. Hey, let's take Seydou. Okay. Boom, one instance. Hey, you're going to BCO or ACO, wherever you went. You're needed here.
Yeah.
Or they go, let's fire him. You can't get fired in the Army. Like, you can't. Even if you get chaptered out, it's still kind of not getting fired, but it is in a way.
Literally.
So they probably
not.
They probably had small dicks and were like, let's fucking kick him out of the company. Well, okay. You probably didn't want to be there anyway.
I mean, I was starting to get fed up, though. I mean, overall, the company was good. It's just the leadership I had in my section, they were just trash, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not bad as the last one. The last one, that caused me to be out the Army. They did worse, but the first one is just like, the first one, it started with the first one first. Those motherfuckers. But, okay, so this happened. So they sent me to Bravo Company, and that's when I met the Scout First Sergeant. He told me, are you ready to go to NTC? This was my first NTC. I told him, I'm ready, First Sergeant. Then I remember it was the PSG. His name was Sergeant First Class Perez. And he was going to be my PSG at that time. He told me, are you like a piece of shit? I told him, Sergeant First Class, I ain't no piece of shit. I'd be at the right place, right time, right uniform. Then he was laughing. He said, I'm just fucking with you, you know?
He sounds like my type of guy. That's a keeper right there.
Yeah, like, he told me, like, in his platoon, he wants three things: right place, right time, right uniform. And he also said, like, if you got anything going on, bring it up in the group chat. He made it so simple. So I was in this platoon around for like 4 months, and let me tell you, that platoon was great. Because, bro, the leadership in that platoon, they knew what the fuck they were doing. Like, it's like you'll come to work and you know you have to PMCS the track. You gotta test out your gunner station. You gotta test your turn. You gotta test the 50 cal COBRA if it works. You know, you gotta test out your 240. You basically know how to PMCS. And I promise you, once you know how to do it, we'll go home around like 1500. We're not just gonna be there bullshitting around. And the platoon leader I had that time, she was amazing. She was great. She actually cared about the soldiers in the platoon. Like, that officer was one of the best officers I seen. Even though we know about the OER, don't get me wrong, fuck the OER, but she was a good officer, you know?
Put that on a t-shirt, fuck your OER.
Yeah. I think she was from Syracuse, New York. I think so, but she was great. Like, she was very she was very competent. She was very intelligent. And so she told us that she's passionate being a lawyer in the military, which she ended up doing, though. She switched her MOS. So 4 months passed by, you know, because Turpentine, they had a retarded soldier named Irizarry. Dude was fucking up left and right. Like, one time, dude wears slippers to a staff duty. How you wear slippers to a staff duty?
I had a squad leader. He showed up to CQ with his boots on blouse, but hey, it was barracks CQ, and on top, like, he could easily blouse him real quick if he left the building. You know, he knew no one would check on him. But fucking slippers? Like, did he even bring his boots to just in case, or did he just show up in slippers?
Nah, he showed up in slippers and OCP. I'm not lying. His friend told me this. It was his friend words that told me this. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there is no way. Is he autistic or what? And he lost his CAT card. He almost drove a tank to the drift. But, you know, I couldn't judge me. I didn't judge him because, you know, I went through that same shit when I was in the Army, you know. When I got to my old company, I didn't judge him, though. I told him, like, it's his leadership that's failing him. And you know what's sad? They bullied him. They ultra shot at him. So he became the dog piece of the unit, basically. And he was just a private dude. And one time I invited him to the church I went to. I did, because he doesn't go anywhere. So I invited him. I told him, hey, you want to come to the church I did, which I'm glad I did. And he was a great guy. He was very talented. So NTC passed by. So we have something called, my tank commander, you know, that guy. His name is Richie Jones. He's just a bald black dude, you know. Dude is weird as fuck. But you know, this time, you know, me and him were in the same platoon. So something happened in NTC where he got kicked out a second for some reason. Then, you know, I was in second around from near the end of 2024 to the beginning of 2025. And there was one time that soldier, he crashed on his leadership. He stepped on his leadership. So one time, I remember his platoon sergeant, Sergeant First Class Moore, he was just starting to yell at him. He's telling him, like, is there something wrong with you? Then Arizar said, I'm done. What did he drop? He dropped his book bag and just walked out the motor pool. He walked out the motor pool. He did.
Damn.
Yeah, like, dude lost it, man, and he went to behavioral health. So, dude, I'm mad at my leadership in second. Why do you fuckers gave me up? That was just pretty fucked up. So the next week, I heard they're gonna switch my platoon with him and me, which was a bad idea, though. Golly, so once they switched my platoon, once I came to third platoon, it was bad, bro, but it wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? So I was in third platoon for like almost 2 years with those fuckers, man. But so the platoon sergeant, you know, he was a weird guy, and some interns be telling me, like, the dude will be sleeping with other people's wives, even though he's a married man. He'll be cheating on other people's wives, and I couldn't believe it. And he had a whole daughter too. So one time they told me he sleep with the supply sergeant in our company.
It's always the supply sergeant. It's either the supply private or sergeant people sleep with, dude. I swear to God.
I swear to God. Hey, this is facts. They cannot sit here I'm lying. Like, dude, it was crazy. So I remember I had 3 Corps detail. So let me tell you what 3 Corps detail is. Basically, you have a staff duty for a whole month. But let me tell you, you'll love it. It's the best. You know why? That's your place of duty, dude. So
I was on hours. I know what that is. So you were under 3 Corps. I was under 18th Airborne. So 18th is headquartered at Fort Bragg. I didn't do a staff duty detail. I did a driver's detail, which we ended up not driving anybody anyway. But I got to hang out at 18th Airborne Corps, which was kind of cool, I guess.
Wow, that's crazy. So I was there for a whole month. So let me tell you, every time Arena will fuck with us. So we had some two good NCOs, Sergeant Carney and Staff Sergeant William. You know, he came from the Marine Corps. I think he was a tanker from the Marine Corps because the Marines got rid of their tanks. So a lot of them came to the Army. Those were good dudes, man. I miss those two guys every time. And they would tell us everything. Like, we'll go joke with them. You know, I was with two other soldiers, and we talk about life. We talk about, like, their experience when they were in. They were telling us back then, like, leadership cared more than now. They say now it's like a one big clusterfuck, which he wasn't lying. It really is, you know? Dude, this shit went to an hour.
It's your interview, man. You can make it as long as you want. I'm going to post it to YouTube.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm trying to go deep the best I can. Like, I'm trying to explain it to the timeline, you know? So, I remember, like, they wanted us to come for ACFT. So, technically, we was not required to come. So, it was so funny. They told us not to show up. We never showed up. And the other soldiers, for some reason, they make him show up to work. I told him, like, you're not required to show up to the military and work, right? Like, why are you doing this? You're not gonna get in trouble, okay? Because they got a rank in their chest. You know, don't mean they could do whatever. You're still protected by Army regulation. So, yeah. So this was around, I think, January. So let's say when February came, we had gunnery again, but this time gunnery was supposed to be in March. So you know what the BC did? He made it February. The battalion commander made our gunnery February 28th. So it was supposed to be March something.
Why?
You know how the officers are. You know how they are. You know that OER. You know they wanna be colonels so bad. So.
Man, when I was in 2 Fury, we had a battalion commander. He named us in 2nd Brigade 82nd, the volunteer battalion. Alright, this motherfucker, we were doing details left and right. We weren't training as much.
5.
And, like, we had a sergeant major come into our battalion. He was the rear D sergeant major when I returned from Iraq. And he was like, the volunteer battalion.
That's fucking
what?
retarded. Cause look, so in my brigade we had 1-5. That was the volunteer battalion. Like, those people will be on every detail. Like, and they were infantrymen too. They hated life. Dude, those people hated life, man.
It's just like, you're an officer. We don't raise the right hand to service your OER. We are not here for you. We are here to serve the United States and live the Army values. That's what we joined the Army to do. We're not here to help you get a good OER. We're not your fucking pawns. Like, dude, in Vietnam, when platoon leaders would, we gotta charge the enemy. Sir, no, we're gonna call napalm. No, we're doing it. And then your homeboy dies because, my camera's overheating. And it shut off.
Okay, so what happened so far? So I was talking. So basically, I say we was in gunnery for a whole month, and this was our platoon sergeant, this scumbag, you know, Sergeant Moore. Dude, I was getting tasked left and right, and my buddy told me the reason why, because they got buttered. I was on 3-corps detail. I'm like, you motherfuckers! I was never in your platoon.
What a bunch of fucking pussies. Sorry to cut you off. What a bunch of fucking pussies. I'm going to abuse my rank and make this guy work extra hard because he got something I didn't? Like...
Yeah, that's how I felt every day, yeah.
What a bunch of pussies.
I swear to God, I despise those people, man. It's people like that I don't want to go to war with because, bro, I'm going to whack their shit. I swear to God.
You're going to what?
I'm going to rock their shit if I ever be in contact with them in war, if they move like that. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, dude, listen. I got something for you. So when I was in Iraq, we were doing entrance control points. So part of what we did in Iraq on the air base we were at, we were doing entrance control point. So 1st platoon was already on it. I was in 2nd platoon, and they said, all right, we're about to take over. So we basically merged with 1st Platoon, and they showed us what to do, where our guard positions were, and then we were also improving from 125, which was a fucking retarded unit. They had no idea what they were doing. So we had to like clean up their mess basically. But anyway, after the 10-12 hour shift was done, we get up, we mount our nods, and we go patrol the what's called the SOCLOT. So basically we had to go make sure the Iraqis weren't building IEDs and fucking, I don't know, plotting to kill us. So we would go patrol to let them know, hey, we mean business, and then also talk to the locals like, hey, what's going on? You need anything? Any grievances you want to talk to us about? So in Iraq, there's trash everywhere. So they teach you about IEDs, watch out for trash. But when you go to Iraq, you're like, what the? There's trash everywhere. You can't possibly have an IED in every pile of trash when there's 90 piles of trash, right? So if you can't do it here, you're not going to do it over there, right? When we went on this patrol, we had a shitbag. This kid, you probably seen someone like this in your unit. Silver spoon fed, very entitled. He talked to people.
Oh, yes.
He talked to
you
people.
Remind me of somebody named Smith. Yes.
Yeah, he talked to people like he was above them, and it didn't matter. And your rank didn't matter. And if you weren't in his cool kids club, he would talk to you like you were retarded or something. So he was my team leader on this patrol. This man put his hands in his pocket and had us walk a 15-minute pace, taking shortcuts through a pile of trash. That was my first patrol in country, and I thought I was going to die because I thought we were going to trigger an IED. My first impressions, however, where we were in Iraq, the likelihood of that happening was very low, slim to none. However, when your leadership are Iraq and Afghan vets and they tell you stories of legs getting blown off and IEDs and gunfights and people getting killed because they weren't paying attention, and this dude's literally presenting himself as the softest target possible, you're like, whoa. Guess what? He got entitled with an NCO. He was roommates with an NCO, so if you have a pistol and you're not patrolling, you got to take a weapon everywhere. So dudes would just take their pistols and leave their rifles in the rooms. Well, he took his roommate's rifle, who's a sergeant, because he was doing a team leaders course, and took that shit, right?
Yeah.
And he gave it to a saw gunner so he didn't have to carry a saw without telling the NCO. See, the NCO got word from the platoon sergeant, hey, we got to do SI layout. Dude comes back, can't find his rifle. His rifle was in his room. That's where we just store our weapons. We store it in our rooms. Lock them when we leave. If it's not locked, someone's in there. So there's always eyes, or if no eyes, the SI's locked up. So the only person that could have taken his weapon was his roommate. And it's just weird. Why would you take someone else's weapon in a war zone? So he goes to the platoon sergeant in E5 and goes, I lost my weapon. How embarrassing. An NCO telling his NCOSC, I lost SI. When you're an NCO, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no.
Oh, you're getting demoted back to a private.
If not, it's bad. Luckily, the NCO was very reasonable, the NCOSC. Come to find out his roommate took it, the silver spoon-fed kid. He goes, why'd you take my rifle? And he tells, E4 tells Sergeant, because I can. And he goes up to him, and he did what he did to me. He started pushing him, smiling at him like he's above him. Well, that sergeant grabbed him and started punching him in the face. He hit him with a right cross above the eyebrow about 4 or 5 times. And I remember this. I heard, you fucking bitch! And he grabbed him and started rocking that motherfucker.
Really? The B word?
Dude, he was bleeding and he started crying. It was insane. He acted all hard and shit, and then he turned into a little bitch. And I talked to him about it later, and he told me the story I told you. So if you deploy and you act like that, you got to understand, like, at some point, people aren't going to care about getting an Article 15. Now, that NCO didn't get an Article 15, and thank God. Leadership did the right thing, not legally, but morally. Hey, you deserved it, but don't do this again. You'll get demoted, Gomar, whatever, cool. And they separated him. They moved rooms. But when you said I'll rock him, I want to let you know, when you deploy and you act up like you're living together, act right or get fucking punched.
I know, man, and it's sick sucks, but you know, an NTC man, like, well, so when an NTC man, I had to deal with them, but you know, like me, I'm a calm, chill dude, so you know, I use I used my logic. So they tried so hard to get me to react, dude. I did not react, dude. They wanted me to react so bad. I'm like, why? And we had a PFC that was a Silver Spoon. This guy barely be passing his PT test, and he been flagged for hiding with for a year. But somehow they say he's a good soldier. Mind you, he's a piece of trash. Fat dude from Baltimore. His name was Smith. It was crazy, and I never understand why he was your favorite soldier for some reason. Like, dude was a rock. So gunnery passed by, and we about to get the new platoon sergeant. I think something happened. So one time we came from gunnery. So you know I forgot my assault pack on the tank. So you know what happened?
What?
I went and told Sergeant Carney about it, and they've been looking for my assault pack. And you want to know who had it the whole fucking time? My fucking tank commander.
Why'd he take it?
Just being a piece of shit. He said, you're losing accountability for your assault pack. I'm like, motherfucker, I left that shit right in the tank. And mind you, this guy left his sleeping bag on his tank all the time. He doesn't take responsibility for his own equipment, but he wants to threaten to smoke me for it. I'm like, what are you talking about, Sergeant? Like, assault pack? So once I called him on his bullshit one time, and he was like, yo, chill. It wasn't like that. Then one time I wanted to speak with I wanted to talk to the chaplain about it in front of them. So I'm like, yeah, I feel like this platoon is on some bullshit, you know. First sergeant and the sergeant and the PSG saw that shit. Let me tell from there, they just started to fuck with me, which I knew was gonna come. But I ain't give two fuck. It just me to remind them, hey, if whatever you do, I'm gonna call you out,
bro. I've seen this too. When I was in DECO, and I was also in a DECO in the 101st, like I said.
Right.
We had a dude who was about to promote. I think he's a sergeant now. He chose to become squared away, but I had to fuck him up a couple times because of his attitude. So here's what happened. We had another guy who was already in a team leader position. I was leaving the platoon and going to HQ platoon because I was PCSing him. Platoon sergeant was like, all right, train up this guy. You're going to go focus on PCS. And like, cool. So he was basically running stuff as a specialist. The other specialist who was going to the promotion board didn't like being told what to do. So even though we're in a DECO and his helmet was secured inside a Humvee, motherfucker grabbed his helmet and texted the group chat with the NCOs in it. Me, the section sergeant, and the other section sergeant, or the other section leader. And he fucking puts it in there. Oh, so-and-so left his helmet here. I thought he stole his helmet, so I called him and said, get to work right now. You want to know what he told me?
What did he tell you?
Oh, Sergeant, I can't get to work because I can't afford to put gas in my car. All right, so let me tell you, this was like a Wednesday. The next day we were going into work. And I found out at the time, oh yeah, they were living in an apartment together, so they were both roommates. So he took the helmet to his apartment, and I forgot about that. But still, if you're about to be an NCO, and you're telling me that you can't afford to put gas in your car to drive to work, dude. At the time I owned a Chevy Silverado. You know how much the gas bill was?
What was it?
I had a 26-gallon gas tank, so whatever the fuck gas prices were, that's how much I was paying. And I still was able to afford to put gas in my truck. So anyway, this motherfucker, right, comes into work next day. He's not downstairs. I know exactly what he's doing. He's upstairs with the section sergeant trying to hide from me, thinking I'm not going to say shit in front of the section sergeant. So I said, so-and-so, how'd you get to work today? And he looks down like, I said, and guess what kind of car he drove?
What type?
He drove a Mustang, a 4-cylinder Mustang.
Oh my God.
And he can't afford to put gas in a 4-cylinder Mustang. And I was like, so I called him out. I was like, how'd you get to work today? And he went, you can't afford to fill up a 4-cylinder Mustang? You're about to be an NCO? And I explained, dude, I have credit cards. They give me cash back when I use them for gas. I'm like, and I pointed to the section sergeant, this dude calls me, I always have a way to get to work. I'll Uber if I have to. And you're telling me you can't come to work because you can't put gas in your car? And I said that, and all the NCOs and the other platoons were there, and they were looking at him. And then the second sergeant goes, "You need a finance class, buddy."
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. But anyway,
dude,
continue on.
Hey, you know, Foot Hood is just like that too. Foot Hood ain't no better. So where was that at? Okay. Oh shit. So that happened. So, you know, then he was trying to act dumb. He said it wasn't like that. I'm like, yes, it was like that, sir. I'm like, what are you trying to do here? Trying to prove a point? But I feel like he was self-projecting because my buddy would tell me every time when he fucks up, somehow he blames it on me for no other logic reason, which I didn't knew that. I knew back then, but I didn't know it was that bad, you know, him blaming it on me every time he fucks up, which is pretty interesting. So then the new PSG came in around April of March, somewhere like that, and you know, dude was a staff sergeant. So this was the piece of trash I was talking about from Buffalo, New York, you know. But it was that guy. But when he came there, he was okay, you know. He wasn't showing us he was a lazy piece of shit, you know. So I remember between our last day and our last time, so the OPSG was gone. Then he took over, and let me tell you, once he took over, the platoon went shittier. Like,
is this the hood motherfucker you were talking to me about?
Yeah, the piece of trash guy. Yeah, the scumbag.
What's his name? Put his name on the internet.
Mallory. I know his last name was Mallory.
And what
Staff
was...
Sergeant.
Describe him, like... Could you please describe him, like... Where was he failing as an NCO? How was he behaving?
So basically, like a communication. So he's not. So when we're in the motor pool, he's not there to really help soldiers. Most of the time, you know what he do? He talks shit about people. He'd be in the office all day with the platoon leader. Every day, like he's not like the platoon leader from second, which he is way better. But this guy, he just sit in his ass bullshit, you know. And even though I informed them, though, I was going through some things, bro. You know what these motherfuckers did, bro? They still made me do a spur ride, knowing that I had shit going on, bro. Wow.
Well, that's also that's a thing too. Here's the thing about that, right? The spur ride, if I'm not mistaken, in the cab world, isn't that optional?
Yeah, it was, but they try to make it mandatory. Even though I told them that, even though they knew I was going to behave off, they still try to make me do that shit.
You got to provide purpose, direction, and motivation. If you want soldiers to do an optional event, you can't force them to do it. It's an optional event. Like, as a former NCO, you will get in trouble if you try to force your soldiers to do an optional event if it's reported to the right echelon. Like, why not go, hey man, you know, like if I was your NCO and I really wanted you to do that gay spur ride, right? I would have been like, hey, listen, man, I believe in you. It really would be essential, a part of a team if you were there. Like, we wouldn't be the same without you. I'm going to do this shit with you, man. I'm sure you would probably do it. And if you didn't, I'd be like, all right, man, get the help you need. Come back better. And I would provide you with all the support I can. That's what I would do. But it sounds like your leadership was like, oh, this guy's a fucking pussy. Fuck him. I think, you know what I mean? I think that's...
Yes. You're right. You got it right. 100%. Yes. That's how it is.
And you're not a pussy at all. You're a great guy. Like, this is why soldiers break down. It's not because the Army is soft and soldiers just can't handle it. It's because you have stupid leadership that tries to break people down.
That's what happened to me, dude. Like, that's what happened to me. And mind you, bro, I knew my shit as a tanker. Like, every time when we go to field training, like, I take that shit serious because I'm a driver, dude. If one wrong move, I could get the gunner, TC, and drive and the loader killed. So, but yeah, that's how they looked at it. Yes, you're 100% correct. And so they made me do it for a little bit. Then later on, I went to my behavioral health appointment. I told my provider everything, and my provider was shocked. My provider said, "What the fuck, you for real?" She was shocked, but she was about to PCS, so she couldn't do nothing. So she went there. She would try to talk to my leadership and say, "Hey, this dude is not in the right state of mind. Like he needs more time to cope and get his shit together before y'all want to take him to the field training." That's what she told me, you know. Then, so here's the thing: the company commander put me on suicide watch in the barracks for 1 day, but you know, whatever, sir.
So, hey, sorry to cut you off. Tell me, how was this detail set up? How did they put you on suicide watch? Was there a guard detail? Were there shifts?
Yeah. So they put the sugar spoon, the soldier, to watch me. So he was inside my room. He was there till my roommate came back, then they let him go. So I was there for like 24 hours, dude. It was wild, man. And
Can I tell you something? I think I know what they were doing. So when I attempted, you know about my attempt. When I attempted,
yeah, that's horrible.
They had a detail set up. It was ordered from our battalion commander was stupid as shit. Like Colonel Shin was an absolute idiot. We need to put him on suicide watch. No, you don't. All right, CQ. You can have CQ come check on me, which they ended up switching to. They decided to have the whole platoon come check on me. And granted, my platoon cared about me. But I think what they were doing, man, do you think maybe they were trying to get the platoon to resent you? Like, oh, hey, you can't be off work. Sorry, we got to have you go watch Seydou. You know?
Yeah, basically they were trying to do, and they're trying to make the soldiers hate me afterwards. Because I went and told the first sergeant commander I can't do the spur ride, and they dropped me out of the spur ride, which is like, y'all were not tracking. I was going through some shit before I went to the spur ride. Like, where you're not tracking, I was going to behavioral health 2 weeks prior. It's not like I was trying to get out of it. Because, bro, I've been in every field event. It's just this one particular moment that I was not in the right state of mind, dude. Because all the bullshit, it just got too much to my head. But yeah, they were trying to make people hate me, man.
Because they did that to me. Luckily, my platoon really stuck by me. They had people from random ranks checking on me, and I'm like, they definitely didn't resent me. They didn't. The platoon was good. I wouldn't want to do that. Like, to me, you're either not fully aware of what happened. Usually, an officer makes that decision, not knowing the culture of the enlisted. But in this situation, man, I think they did this to you. Again, like we said, to make them resent you. Like, they wanted to ostracize you, and they wanted to push you away from the team and make you crap.
Oh, yes.
This is what it sounds like to me.
Yes, that's what they did to me. No, you're 100% correct. Dude, this is what they did to me. And, okay, so the spur ride passed by, so, you know, the next day, my mental health was starting to get worse. And you know, I brought it up to my behavioral health provider. What she could do, she told me, hey, like, this guy's mentally unstable. Like, you don't want to put him on a tank to drop that shit. Like, he's not in the right state of mind at this particular moment. So, you know what leadership did? They still wanted to take me to the field. So this was July something. Let me check the date. I want to be accurate with my date. Give me a second. Yeah, dude. This is crazy, bro. You know, I also try to file the IG complaint. You know, IG was on some bullshit. So when did I get hospitalized? Wait, July 29th. So I got July 29th of last year, 2025. So here's the thing. So these motherfuckers came there and packed the tank, all that stuff. So I remember in the DFAC, like going to dinner at the DFAC, so I went and told my buddy everything was happening. He told me, dude, if I were you, like, I'll crush them. Like, I'll tell them, fuck you, you ain't taking me to the field. I'll tell them, wait, I got a plan. I'm gonna call the hotline. So I went and called the hotline, told them everything was going on. They told him, like, dude, like, you need somewhere, like, to get your mind right. And I told him I got a field exercise coming in called Pegasus Forge, because the 1st Cavalry Division commander, he wanted us to do more field training on top of the brigade commander. I'm like, sir, what the fuck, dude? We don't have time to work on our vehicles. Like, what the fuck? So I remember, okay, so let me check the time. It was like 7:09ish. So I went and called the VA and I told them everything was been going on. and they recommended I go to the Darwin Center. So the Darwin Center is the hospital on post. So I went there around I think 9:00ish, and I told them everything was going on. I feel depressed. I feel suicidal. My anxiety level was to the roof. And mind you, this was the first. I tricked myself to the ward. Nobody sent me there. I took myself over there the first time. So I went there, bro. And one time shout out to Sergeant McLeod. I'm gonna say his name. I feel like he genuinely cared what happened to me, because you know what he told me?
What did he tell you?
He told me, I'm glad you did this. I'd rather have a soldier do this than see some soldier who's dead in his barracks. That's what he told me.
I told you about my roommate, man. That's some real shit.
Yeah.
When it happens, I don't want someone to go through that pain. It's real, and it fucks you up. So that is why, people who don't go through it don't understand, but go get help. Go get help. When my roommate killed himself, I felt like it was my fault. Because you got to take care of your roommate. That's a rule of the barracks. You take care of your roommate.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I miss my roommate. Dude was a barracks gamer, man. He was a medic also. So every time when I miss shit, he just gives it to me. He's like, here, I got this. Dude was a cool guy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
man.
He was from... Go ahead, sorry.
No. Sorry, I got distracted. There's a pretty woman walking by.
Dude, I'm going so deep, man. It's crazy. But, you have to put it out there, man, so people can understand.
Remember, just say what you're comfortable with, and I won't stop you if you say whatever you want to think you need to say.
Yeah, you're good, brother. So this what happened. So he went and texted my PSG. You know what this stupid motherfucker said? Excuse my language. He said, why is he suicidal? Why is he suicidal? He told him that. I'm like...
Why is he suicidal? Gee, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe if you left the office and talked to your guys once in a while, you'd see how fucked up everyone is. What do you mean, why?
Why is he suicidal? So he showed me the message. I'm like, did he really text that? I'm like, this guy's a piece of junk. So, okay, so I was checking in, and I went and spoke with somebody. I told him everything was been going on. I told my leadership. I should have got him in trouble. I swear, I should have get him in trouble. But that was not in my right mind. I just wanted to tell them everything what I had going on personally. So they told me you want to stay in here for a couple of days. I told them yeah. So they took me in, dude. It looked like I had an orange jumpsuit. It looked like I was going to prison. Dude, it was crazy. But I tried so hard not to go to the psych ward. I tried everything. I tried with my rank could handle, because I was not an NCO. I tried with my rank could handle. And my bitch ass tank commander wouldn't do anything because so my buddy told me this. He caught him talking shit, saying, "Oh, he's just being a bitch. He's just lazy. He don't want to go out to the field."
You've been to every fucking field event, every gunnery. You never missed any of it. What do you mean you don't want to go to the field?
Thank you. I've been in every field event. I never got out the field. I swear. I never got out the field.
Some people, you miss one field event. That guy's a piece of shit. Meanwhile, you go to the field more than that guy talking shit about you.
I love the field because that's where I do my job as a tanker. People hate when they're in the field, but me, I don't. I'm just there to. It's just more survival skills, honestly. That's how I look at the field training.
Also, you're off your phone. I like being on my phone, but you don't take your phone with you on your person. You go back to, we go back to our little patrol base or our little sleep area.
No, we take it with us.
We just watch our phones, watch some Netflix, play some games, go to sleep, and then we're off our phones, so we're not walking around with our phones lighting up with the group chat. So I always like the field for that reason, because we were we were people. We were, hey, take notes with pen and paper. Hey, let's talk like people. The mind needs people, the stomach needs food. That's how it works.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. So that happened. So for us tankers, so it was cool. We could hide our phones anywhere. So I remember, when you go to the box, you're not supposed to have your phone. We had that shit all the time because we're tankers. You can't check in our vehicles. Oh, dude, it was wild. So I went into the third floor. So I remember I spent there 4 days, dude. And when I was there, man, I was just starting to think to myself, asking, am I the problem or is it because of them? Because back then I knew there's no way I'm the problem because I did everything. Like, I knew I fucked up when I came into the unit, like, when I was a private, though. Like, you know, I fucked up. I fucked up the tank engine by accident. I get it. Because I told him, hey, I don't know how to drive a tank. But I told him, like, you cannot hold that against me now, knowing that I ranked up now, you know? Because privates, we do stupid shit, you know? You know,
Yeah.
we do
Oh no,
stupid
listen,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
I used to wonder why I got messed with when I became an NCO at man. I was retarded. Like my retardation was out of level unforeseen. When I was 18, 19, man, I was good at my job, but I was a dumbass private. Like, I look back, maybe they messed with me for a reason.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, like, I did fucked up as a private, but you should not hold that against me for...
Not years later.
You know
if you grew past it, it doesn't matter now. That's also a problem, you know?
And I got sent to another company, and I became good. I became so good driving the tank. So I became a good driver for the tank. So it's like, why are you still holding that against me? Like, come on. It was wild, dude. Yeah. I remember... So I was just starting to think, like, am I the problem? Then I remember speaking with other soldiers who had a similar process. So this soldier, you know, he was a cool guy. He's from California. He was 3CR infantryman. Dude told me, like, he wanted to... So dude did some stupid-ass shit, you know. If he sees this, I'm not attacking you. So he basically told a platoon leader he wants to kiss the platoon leader. Then once he heard he was getting Article 15, he went AWOL. But he went AWOL. The whole full hood was looking for him. Yeah.
Yo, that's some, like, listen, if I had a female platoon leader and I was cool with her, I might say, hey, ma'am, you like kissing men? Yeah, I'm a female. Fucking fag. If we were cool, if we had that repertoire, you know? But you gotta read the room. But even then, no matter what, going up and, yo, ma'am, I want to kiss you. Like, that's weird as fuck. Like,
yeah, that's weird. And I told her, was she attractive? No. He said no. I'm like, why don't you say that then? But he was a high speed soldier though. Like, do you want an iron soldier? I'm like, why don't you do that? And you know, you a high speed soldier. Like, you suspect more of yourself. Then he went AWOL. Then he told me he had a meeting with the whole division, and he took, you know, he said the reason why he ended up there, because he went to Bell County jail. So he said, I'm going to kill myself. So they sent him to the third floor. Because he was in Bell County jail. Once they catch him, he went AWOL. He talked about how he smoked weed. I'm like, dude, you don't want to go out like that, man. Like, that could fuck up everything you earn while in service. You know what I mean?
Did he at least get caught? Like,
I think... No, so here's the thing. He got away with pissing hard, though. So, but he got out with a general. But either way, I mean, you shouldn't have go out like that, man. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was crazy. So, you know, third floor being the third floor. So I went in and I told them, like, my stories, man, everything. Some of them were looking at me like I'm a shitbag. I'm like, you don't understand what I went through. You're not in my fucking unit, dude. Not everyone who's at the third floor is a shitbag. Like, some of us got some serious mental health problems going on.
As someone who was on
leadership is.
Exactly, as someone who was on the 6th floor.
The third floor. Same shit.
Same shit. You see guys who really struggle. A lot of people who were really struggling, and they actually seem like great soldiers, but they're labeled as a shitbag for being there. Because you also, you could agree with me on this. You also saw shitbag soldiers that manipulated their way onto the floor just to get out of work. I know you saw that too.
Yes. I see it every day, but they never get caught out, though. I swear. They never. I see it every time. Yes. But somehow I was the shitbag. It's no logic behind it, because I've been in every field event, every field training you can name. I've been in 2 NTCs already. So why you're thinking I'm a shitbag now? Because mentally I'm fucked up right now, because you're having to do gate guard for 2 weeks. And I take a leave 1 week and a half, dude. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay. So I remember, like, the third day, so they're already in the field, so I came and spoke with the first sergeant, you know? And the first sergeant was downplaying it so far. Like, but he said, oh, you just don't go out, don't you? You're just in the barracks all the time. Mind you, that's not true. I go out every time. I barely stay in the barracks. He downplayed it. He said, oh, try to make some friends, buddy. So he's going to see, let me see if I can send you the S4 for now. So that's what me and the provider agree, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me the S4, and, you know, so when I went to S4, you know, I introduced myself. I told him, hey, I got shit going on. Like, I told him, I'm going to my behavioral health appointment. I told him, hey, it's not me trying to get out of work. I told him I have some serious issues happening with my leadership. They told me the LT, you know, she's a piece of shit. LT, she's a captain now. Doubleman, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she told me, okay, I know soldiers are trying to go to behavioral health. You're trying to get out of work. I'm like, dude, when you look at her, you can tell she's the type that was bullied in school. Like, she gets that vibe, like the girl that was bullied in school her whole life. So now she's an officer. She's big and bad. She was giving that type of vibe.
Bro, we had this lieutenant when I was at Campbell. So I had 5 soldiers. I moved from Mielec to Jezja, Poland, and she calls her soldiers. So long story short, I ordered a bus because we didn't pack all our stuff. We were called there last minute. I said, all right, guys, me being in Fort Bragg, I know how to pack what I need for the field last minute and survive for how long I needed. I packed exactly what I needed to survive the rest of that deployment in Jezja from Mielec. That's how good you get it there. These other guys aren't used to that, so they didn't have all their stuff. Because they sent us last minute. I woke up at 11 a.m. and was supposed to be my day off. My commander's like, I'm so sorry about this. I'm like, hey, sir, I'm fucking used to it. Don't worry. Packed my shit. Took my guys over there. So I ordered a bus. I called ahead and said, hey, can we get a bus down here to take these guys back? And I said, all right, guys, we got a bus. It's optional. Be here tomorrow. You late, you miss it. You don't got to go. Everybody except one guy and myself decided not to go back because I had everything I needed. He had. His platoon leader calls him, his squad leader calls him and was like, yo, what the fuck? You missed the bus. And then he puts me on the phone. I'm sleeping in my bed. And mind you, I was up all night gaming on Call of Duty. And I went to bed at 6 a.m. I went to bed at 6 a.m. It was my day off. He's like, hey, what's up? He's like, yo, so, what's going on? You guys missed the bus? I'm like, no, we didn't. It was an optional bus. He's like, oh, yeah. You guys are going to have to get a cab. I'm like, no. How much is that going to cost? $100? $200? I'm like, I'm not paying that. Well, I'm like, no. Listen, dude, NCO to NCO, I don't want to fuck you over, but I'm not paying my money to go over there, right? So he was like, he was like, yeah, man, you guys got to get here. I'm like, no, we don't. Like, the bus was optional, and you're telling me I have to get here? The platoon leader, she thought that I missed it and was freaking out. She was going to get in trouble. So I hear, let me talk to him. I went, oh, what the fuck does she want? She's like, listen, fucker, you missed the bus because you decided to be lazy. I said, what the fuck did you say to me? What the fuck did you say to me? First of all, I ordered the goddamn bus. It was an optional bus that I planned. You stupid fucking lieutenant piece of shit.
Yo, that is crazy, dude.
Yeah, and everybody, what was great is she tried to get me an Article 15 and it wouldn't go through because everybody defended me.
Article 15?
Yeah, I got, let's say I got some street cred for that, but anyway, going back to what you were saying, like, that is just, like, no, that's not what happened. Like, this is what's going on, is what I was trying to say.
Literally. So, okay, so, also, there was a Mexican dirtbag specialist also on S4. He know who he is. I won't say his name, but you know, he was he was an okay dude, but you know, every time when I was on S4, dude, I noticed they always. So basically, I got to work on a 113. So every time I noticed, they always send me to take care of the motor. I'm like, dude, such and so is not even here. Like, you can't expect me to do this shit without you telling me how to operate this shit. Like, I'm a tanker, bro.
I don't get it.
Yeah, dude, bro, I feel like they set me up to fail at the end. I think they felt some type of way that I went to the third floor. So they were just hoping that I crash out so they could kick me out with misconduct, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't let that happen. So, okay, so working in S4 for like almost a whole month, man. Every time I'll be the only soldier that would be in the motor pool, man, trying to like work on the track. And sometimes they would be confused. They're like, "You don't got nobody helping you?" I'm like, "No, I don't." I'm like, dude, they'd be like, a lot of the S1 shop guys, they say, "Yo, that's pretty fucked up." Like, yeah. I told them, yeah, it's just me. And one time, the sergeant first class. So one time I fucked up, you know. She basically. I was setting up the video, but apparently in her eyes, I was not doing nothing. And one time she told me this, "Hey, you know I almost counseled you." I mean, I looked at my counsel me for what? For what again, sorry? Oh, you thought I was just sitting not doing shit? Bullshit. I was setting up the fucking radio. She told me, here's what you could do for me so you don't get a negative counseling. So you know everything in that 113? Try to take it out and put it in the conics. Mind you, I have no fucking car. So I had to take it and walk it from there to the cough.
What a fucking bitch. You're literally sitting there doing... Like, everyone learns how to use a radio in basic training. You're doing something required. And no, she just didn't want to do it herself. And instead of, like, asking you, or I don't know, being... Yeah. She's like, do you want a negative counseling? Here's what you're going to do instead. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Man, let me tell you, she said, "Oh, because she wasn't doing shit." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Sorry, not doing shit. I'm like, "What?" So, okay, so Maya and this shitty ass specialist also, he was ETSing, so he barely shows up to work. You know, sometimes he'll try to be on some power trip. I'm like, bro, you can't be doing that. Like, we're the same rank. Like, sit your ass down. So, you know, and I told him, like, I had some shit going on. And he went in and looked like, damn, like, this guy really was going through it. Like, yeah, I told him what happened with my previous leadership. And he's like, damn. So, I remember one time, you know, I remember Monday of last September. So she came and put me to the side. She told me, like, hey, if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to negatively cancel you. And she's talking about, hey, I got soldiers out for negative counseling with Miss Connor. I'm like, you on some bullshit.
It's always those fucking females.
Oh yeah, God,
I'm gonna, like, you know what I would do if I was gonna be petty? Dude, I'm gonna smoke the fuck out of you if you don't get your shit together. Alright, you don't wanna fix yourself, and I take you out back, and about 2 hours go by, and you're like, man, this is terrible. That's me, but as an NCO, whenever I did paperwork, it was serious. Like, I counseled a dude for literally, he was supposed to show up. We were going to do field PT, sports PT. And my PO was like, where the fuck is he? He couldn't drive his truck because he lost his driving privileges. And instead of calling someone to come take him, he lived in the barracks. He just said, well, I guess I just can't show up. Didn't call me, didn't do nothing. I went, I'm going to counsel him, don't worry. I went, all right. You know, you only do that when it's serious. You don't... I'm going to counsel you. Oh my God. I've gotten soldiers kicked out for counselings. That's why we're losing people, because we got, and it's usually women. Not all female leaders are like this, but it's usually like, oh, I feel this way, so I'm going to do the worst thing for this guy's career. Like, that fucking bitchiness, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's insane. Man, yeah, so that happened. I mean, what they gonna do if I bring up their first name? I mean, they can't really do shit, right?
Bro, they ain't gonna do shit. Listen, Christopher
exactly.
Listen. Let me help you out. First Sergeant Christopher Info is a fucking faggot. Fuck Colonel Shin. That's my chain of command. I say it all the time. They ain't gonna do shit. They haven't done shit to me.
Because we're civilians.
We're civilians. They can't do shit. Anthony's a pussy. You know what I mean? They can't do shit.
PSG? Yeah. Hey, all my fuck all my leadership and Bravo Company when they calf. Y'all are trash. And fuck the commander, because the commander saw that shit and he did nothing. Commander was my old tank platoon leader. He switched one day and did. I'm like, sir, you knew they're fucked up, but you ain't pulled them out and caught them out because you want to go along to get along, because you're scared that you could get in trouble for doing the right thing. Like, he reminds me of number 2. Like, they see shit is wrong, but they stay quiet, you know? He reminds me of those people. And you have so many of them in the military, you know?
Yeah. And fuck that platoon sergeant Malley, that hood wannabe pussy motherfucker. Act like an NCO.
Fuck that guy. That piece of trash.
That dude needs a crowd to fight because he's got no hands, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, nah, like he acts like a little bitch. So whenever you talk about one of the NCOs that act like a, I forgot who you talking about, but he acts like that, like somewhat like that. Like he wants to show his power, and you know damn well he's a little pussy. He not tough.
He's that guy that like he'll push you, you'll rock him, and instead of fighting you, he'll run away and get you in trouble. Go, yeah, look at what this guy did. Like, man, you're a pussy.
That's what he tried to do with me. So I was on. So when I got discharged from a psych ward, I was on weapon profile. So the tank was considered a weapon. So they couldn't do nothing to me. And they were talking shit about me, saying I'm lazy because of my weapon profile. And one time the PSU. One time I got so mad I said I was gonna crash out. So apparently he heard it or somebody snitched on me. One of them fuckers snitched on me. He told me, "Oh, you gonna crash out for what?" I told him, "Crash out for what?" I told him, "I'm tired of just standing here not doing shit." Then he was so confused. He's like, "I didn't do shit to you." I'm like, "Yes, you did. You guys knew I was suicidal, but y'all still wanted to take me to the field. Don't fucking play with me." And y'all talking shit about me, saying that I'm a bitch, I'm a pussy, I'm lazy, I don't want to go out to the field. So don't be out here trying to act like I don't know that shit. Because my buddy told me.
See, these NCOs think that rank is a shield and they can talk all this shit and then act surprised when soldiers stand up to them for bullying them. That's how my platoon sergeant Anthony was. Like, the dude would only talk shit to me when the squad leaders were surrounding him. And he'd be pumping his chest out like he's from the hood. I said, "Yo, Sergeant Anthony, let me talk to you one-on-one." He went, no! Like, oh, no? That's some pussy-ass shit, man.
The Army, man. I can't speak for the Marines, but holy crap, Army, like, y'all are losing a lot of good quality people, man. Yeah, y'all are quantity over quality. Y'all gotta look at the quality, not over fucking quantity. God damn, bro. That's how things turn into shit. So that happened. So I got sent to S4. So whenever me and Sergeant First Class from there, dude, I was just fed up. I don't want to say this. I was just fed up, man. I just wanted to get out the Army at this moment. I'm like, I just don't understand what's the problem, man. Because mentally, I was still mentally fucked up from all this shit, you know. Mm-hmm. Even though I came to work to act like I'm okay. So I went back to the 3rd floor again. And from there, dude, I told him everything was going on. Like, I just want to move on outside the Army. Like, dude, I was there for another 3 days. And I saw my buddy, Young. He was a good dude. And I told him, "Young, what you're doing here?" And he had a breakup. So he told me what happened. I'm like, "I'm so sorry, Young." So I took his contact. I'm like, "Hey, brother, if you got anything going on, hit me up, talk to me, okay?" I told him, "It's not worth taking your life in this place, man." I told him, "You still got people that care about you. It may not be the people in your unit, but it could be your friend or your family back home who care about you." You know what I mean? So we stayed in contact, and I remember the 4th day. So I had a meeting with HAC commander, HAC first sergeant, and so this is not my chain of command because I'm attached to him for being at S4. So you want to know what this piece of shit first sergeant told me? This motherfucker told me, "You're going to NTC." This piece of shit didn't tell me, "Are you doing okay? Like, you want to talk to me? You got shit bothering you?" The first thing that came in his mouth, "You're going to NTC." I'm not lying. He said it. He know who he is. You listening?
Yeah, you just reminded me of when I got out the ward on my second attempt. Sergeant Major Frame. He's pretty well known on different Army meme pages just because he's a great Sergeant Major. When I got out the ward, he went, "Hey." "Oh, yes, Sergeant." He's like, "I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're okay." Cool. Battalion commander, you know what he did? Walked past him. Didn't even bother fucking looking my way. Pretentious asshole. Like I said this before. You got to take care of the unit, like in Vietnam. You ever heard of fragging? Yes. It's you versus a whole ass platoon. There's a lot more soldiers than you.
Fragging your stupid ass because you're a dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, we're not going to do that though. That'd be illegal as shit. But still, when you're downrange and your lives are in danger because of this dumbass, you're going to not care about the law. You're going to be like, "You know what? Fuck, let's leave a grenade."
I'll crash out. Fuck it, I'll do it. Nah, absolutely, dude.
I told you about Iraq when that fucking E4 had to get his ass laid out and you cried like a bitch. Like, it happens. Sometimes you got to do it.
Hey, I wish everything they had done, I wish karma would handle it and hold them accountable for it. But, what goes around comes around. But it's okay. I mean, I have no... I release the anger though, but everything else is good beside it. But also, yeah, like I was saying, so he told me the first year you're going to NTC. I told him dude, that was pretty fucked up. From there, I'm like, yeah, I knew from there you guys don't care about me. Like, I get it. I'm not under your chain of command. Don't just assume I'm just a shitbag. Cause like I told him I've been to NTC before. I told him, hey, I want to go to NTC again. I don't mind it. It's crazy, man. Like, it's just insane. But also, like, the company commander, I told him straight up, I just want to move on from the Army, man. I just want to get out of the Army. Then the doctor was trying to make me stay, and he like, oh, they pay for healthcare, right? You could take 30-day paid leave, right? You get a paycheck for the first of 15, right? You get a deduction, you know how they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little something they try to tuck you in.
Yep.
So I wasn't buying into that crap. I mean, y'all put me to a lot of shit, man, and y'all expect me to, and y'all expect me to what, to like still continue with this? I'm like, nah, man. And the company commander said the same shit. So they went and talked to my chain of command in Bravo company, and 1 week later, they, what's crazy? They sent me back to the same fucked up ass platoon. But this time, then 1 week later, I got flagged for administrative separation. It's just like, okay, I don't give a shit. And they took me into NTC this time, which is okay. But this time around NTC, it wasn't retarded, dude. I was in,
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't do much with me, so I was just support, basically. They couldn't make me be on the tank. So I remember one time, my TC was trying to ask for my gear. I told him, like, why are you coming here for my gear? You failed to do your job as a fucking NCO. To look out for your soldier, because he was the first person I told him I got shit going on,
Yep.
But you ain't take the shit serious. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, they try to admin sep you, and like, yeah, you're still going to the field. Like, it's like me. They told me after my second Article 15 that I got at Bragg, they were like, all right, you've been Anthony pulls me in his office like, you're being separated. And he's like, you're gonna get other than honorable. I went, okay, it's time to die. I'm gonna kill myself.
That's bullshit.
When I attempted, and it was pretty obvious I attempted, concerning I still have nerve damage to this day in my wrist.
Oh man!
I found out a year and a half later when I was talking to a recruiter that was an FO in the battalion I was in. They're like, people were saying that I was doing it just to get out of the field. Like, no, man, I was trying to die. I was trying to die. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Tell me you're gonna give me another.
What's wrong with these? What's wrong with them? Like, what be going to their head though? Like, are they like, the number one top death is fucking suicide, dude. You saw that statistic I said.
Yep.
You saw how the number went all the way up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't take that shit serious. I'm like, why?
Because you got dudes that grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth and they don't care about anyone but themselves, and they listen to the first thing they hear and don't question it. Yeah, you hear this guy? He just slit his wrist to get out of the field. Meanwhile, my platoon will tell you a different story. They're like, oh no, I kind of get it, getting fucked with, and our commanders suck too, but they just listen to the first thing because it's easy for them. It's easy to just listen to the first rumor and take it as fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane, dude. So what else I wanted to say? Fuck. Okay, so that happened. So I met one of the coolest people in NTC, dude. One of the coolest people ever. It was like, I wish I was attached to those people unit, man. it was like, you know, you do meet one of the best people in the Army, straight up. That's straight facts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in NTC for like 35 days. So they put me in the last flight, of course, those motherfuckers. So I came back, man, and when I came back, they couldn't really make me do shit because I was already getting drafted out for, I guess, mental disorder, whatever that bullshit is. So blah blah. So I remember I signed a notification, and I heard I was gonna receive an honorable. But when I asked my bitch ass NCO, he said I'm gonna get a general. I'm like, nah, fuck you. It's not a general. It's a fucking honorable. Because I did nothing wrong in my service. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like me, I was in for close to 7 years. I gave most of my youth at that time to the Army. And I'm getting another than honorable because Bruce Anthony's upset. Like, fuck you, bitch. I called Captain England a bitch, and I need another than honorable to validate her puny emotions and her borderline personality disorder. Like, fair and impartial. And so many leaders forget about that and let their egos run their fucking leadership style.
It's fucking wild, dude. Yeah. So that's what happened. So, okay, so I came back, man. They couldn't really do nothing with me, and now they're starting to spread more rumors about me. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, dude, it was just crazy. I stopped giving a fuck. Don't get me wrong, I stopped giving a fuck. So I just stopped caring at this point. I'm like, I'm getting out of the Army. Like, what the hell? So one time they pissed me off so hard. They pissed me off so bad doing PT, man. I wouldn't used to open no policy against them. The commander gonna have the nerve to say they care about me. I tell them, no, they don't. They don't care about me. I mean, stop trying to feed me that lie, because I see through the bullshit already. Like, I'm not a suck up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then the first sergeant, the first sergeant was acting like brain dead. Like, he's like, you know how they act sometimes, bro. You know when you call them out their bullshit, they always try to act confused, like they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, they gaslight you. They act like for example, show up to work. It's like, sup, faggot? How you doing? You're not supposed to call someone a faggot, and they're like, dude, why are you so upset? I'm not doing anything wrong. When you're calling the guy a faggot, they're gaslighting you.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Then the platoon leader was trying to jump in. I'm like, get out of here. I don't want to see you because you failed as a platoon leader. You failed. I hope you know that. So then the platoon was trying to speak with me. They asked me what they want to do. I'm like, y'all are trying to speak with me. Y'all know I'm getting administratively separated. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to talk to y'all because y'all the reason why I was in this situation to begin with. So, like, mind your own business, please. So, okay, so that happened. So once we came back from NTC from leave, it was pretty okay, I didn't take leave because, I wanted to clean my barracks and, just keep going to Bible seminary, I ended up telling them what happened. They were shocked, though. They said, you seem like you're a good soldier and you're a good guy. Like, they're like, apologize, like, this happened to you. I told them, yeah, this happened to me. And they told me that you at least fight it. I told them, no, I didn't fight it. I told them, I was just fed up, man. And mentally, I was not there no more. I just said, yeah, you could just chop me out. Anyway, with an honorable discharge. So I just stopped caring,
And that took priority over what they were trying to chapter you for in your unit?
Now, they were trying to chapter me out with a misconduct, man. My buddy told me they was trying to hit me with other than honorable, so they couldn't use anything against me. They couldn't,
What did you have, though? Did they counsel you? What did your counseling say?
So I had a bullshit counseling one time. It was I disagree with it. So basically saying I wear the dirty uniform to the motor pool. It made no sense. I'm a tanker. Your uniform will be dirty if you work in a motor pool.
Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, so their current Sergeant Major in charge of the 75th Ranger Regiment, Sergeant Major Donaldson, he was my first battalion Sergeant Major when I was a private. When I was in 2 Fury, he mandated, hey, when you go to the motor pool on Motor Pool Monday, you wear a field uniform. So everyone was required to show up, and it wasn't required. It was you're to show up in a field uniform. So your most fucked up, dirty uniform because you're in the motor pool. You're gonna get dirty. It's the fucking motor pool. Oil, grease, tranny fluid, fucking coolant. All that shit's gonna get on you. Not to mention the
Facts.
ground in the motor pool is always dirty. Like, what do you mean you had a dirty uniform in the motor pool? Were their uniforms clean?
Not really. Of course, because they'd be in the office all day and not doing shit. So yeah, it's insane, dude. That shit was crazy, man. It was like wow. It was wild. So that happened. So basically, they couldn't use anything else to chapter me out. So they had to hit me with a 517, which is I guess behavioral health. So they were trying to give me they were trying to give me a general. You could still get a general under that chapter. They couldn't because I had no They couldn't use one negative counts against me. It would be retarded as shit.
They probably flagged you and were trying to process you out, but Brigade Legal was probably they were like Brigade Legal was probably like nah, or they were like we don't know, because that's just. My prosecutor was a piece of shit, and I could tell my commander was probably sucking his dick. So, like, the dude got chewed out. I still got separated, obviously, but he got chewed the fuck out of my set board. So sometimes leadership gets a little too on their high horse thinking, oh, we could separate him. You can't just counsel a soldier and separate him. You got to have specific reasons why. And there has to be a rehab effort, which obviously they didn't try to... I don't want to say they didn't try to rehabilitate you, because there's nothing to rehabilitate. I think they were so lazy that when you made a mistake and they thought it made them look bad, they just immediately just blamed it on you and talked shit about you.
That's what they did. They do it all the time. So, so December passed by in January, and I got moved to HQ. And every time, bro, when I'll come for formation, like, this guy, this PSG, he'll just laugh in my face, bro. With his funny-looking glasses.
The hood motherfucker?
Yeah, that piece of trash, yeah. This is crazy,
what are you hoping
man.
to accomplish? Like, you're trying to start shit. Like, dude, take your top off and meet me in the wood line. Put your fists up. Let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, like, you wanna crash out on me, go ahead. I mean, I'm already getting separated. Like, what are you gonna lose?
Like, those dudes get out, I told you this, those dudes get out of the Army and they try to get a civilian job. What did you learn being a civilian? The way you act, you can't act like that. HR finds out, you're fired. There's no rehabilitative counseling. No, you just get fired. You act like that. No one cares about you. A lot of those dudes get out that act like that high school shit, that macho shit, and they realize that they don't fit in out here, and they end up, you know what I mean? Blowing their brains out.
Really? I never thought about that. I thought a lot of it's the PTSD and the trauma.
That too, I have said this before, but people like my platoon sergeant, I think, get out, and my buddy said this too. They realize they have nothing, and maybe their family, like, their family sees them for who they really are because they're around more often, because they're retired, and they get divorced and they leave them, and they're like, you know what? It happens, and that's why I tell people, it sucks out here. You're alone. You're on your own, and it's a real scary thing.
It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that happened, so, I never understand what was the problem with me, honestly. It's like, what the hell, man?
Hold up.
So that happened.
Camera's shutting off.
Yeah. Okay, so...
And we're back. Seydou, continue where you left off. Hold on, let me turn the AC down so the camera can... Shit. So the camera can hear what's going on. Just knock the camera over. It's back up. Good angle. There we go. Alright, you hear me, Seydou? Go back to where you left off. Oh, wait, hold up. Turn the volume on. I took you off speakerphone. Okay, you're good now.
Okay, so I mean, I feel like basically it was being another soldier named Cray. Cray was getting separated because I think he had a traumatic brain injury. Like, dude was sick of this shit also, and we had some other soldiers. So I have to be on their ass so I could be separated, because like, yeah, I'm not the way y'all were acting the whole time. Like, I'm sick of this shit, dude. Even though. So I remember going in. I remember between my last day, then I had a sergeant, piece of shit. He said, I'm going to regret my decision. I told him, regret what? Because y'all failed a soldier who was going to it.
You said that to him?
Yeah, I did. He was so he was like, you're right. He he was so quiet and pissed off. And he was getting med board. I'm like, what's your problem with me? I never had no issue with you. It's so weird, man. People just listen to what anybody told them.
I found out the hard way. You gotta listen to it and observe and find out if it's true yourself. That's what my team leader Gilliam that I talked about earlier did. He heard, I didn't know this was going on. People were talking shit about me, saying I'm a bad soldier. He gets to me, he's like, I heard all this stuff about you since I've worked with you. I want to tell you, you're a great soldier. There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. It's like, what the fuck? It's just like that sometimes.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So that happened. So my last day in the Army was in January 20th, 2026. He said I almost got a dishonorable discharge. I told him, having a dishonorable discharge for what? He couldn't even answer. For what? Dude, I remember getting on. I remember leaving the gate. Like, I had mixed emotions. Like, I cried that day. I booked the hotel and I cried that night. I'm like, what the fuck, you know?
When I got out,
yeah,
I left the Soldier Support Center in Bragg. I went in the bathroom, took my uniform off, put it in my backpack. Oh wait, no, I didn't have a backpack. I carried it out by hand. Yeah, I carried it out by hand, put it in my truck, and I drove off post. Got a phone call that I needed to be escorted, so my NCOIC came to follow me, and I went off Fort Bragg, and I just repressed the feeling. But I definitely, if I didn't, I would have cried. I kept myself busy so I didn't have to process it, but I probably would have done what you did. It's not. It's like, man, I did my time, I'm done. No, you got tossed out. Like, yes, we got honorable discharges, but you and I got tossed out. And when it hurts your heart, it hurts your soul. And I don't know about you, man, but it's been 2 years almost since I got out. Fucking 5 days, it'll be 2 years since I've been a civilian, and it still hurts, you know? So I get it.
Yeah, because it was wrong. Tossed out for what reason? Like, tossed out for, because we got shit going on with us mentally, because how stupid leadership can be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, I remember, man, and when I looked at my photo and the Facebook and see people wearing a uniform, it felt unbelievable that I'm not part of this shit anymore. Like, I saw pictures of my brigade commander and my brigade command sergeant major. I'm like, if you guys really understand what I was going to, y'all would not let that happen. But I understand y'all all the way to the top. So I'll stay clean for 2 weeks, So, because the snow happened. So I ended up buying a ticket, flying out of Austin. So, once I came back home, man, it was kind of, I felt some type of relief in my back, and so far, man, I work like 2 jobs. I'm about to work a security job and about to start school. So my advice for a soldier to come in is stand up for yourself and see what is wrong and see what is right. And if you know something is not in your unit, try to speak up to somebody, Like, I get it. You don't want to end your career, but you want to make it hard for them where they don't want to toss you out in a way it's going to affect your benefits. That's my advice to a future soldier. And also, right place, right time, right uniform. Please don't crash out,
Amen, brother. I had a roommate. My roommate was getting targeted, and Anthony, I remember this fucker. He was like, yo, he was hinting to me, I better do this. And I said, my roommate got suicidal. He locked himself in his room. I said, you know what? Fuck this. So I called his buddy to come check on him, and he even told me, he's like, that wasn't good, because I got an EO NCO involved, which turned into a full-blown IG complaint against my commander, and they just hammered me. But guess what? I stuck up for a guy who was getting fucked with just because some Ranger Bat reject wanted to flex his authority. So I feel you on that, man. Stand up for yourself, guys. Always stand up for yourself and your buddies. One team, one fight.
That's and especially, what they say, but a lot of people don't follow that shit.
Go ahead, sorry.
A lot of people don't follow that shit. They don't. They only care about their fucking OER.
Exactly.
Or NCO or ER.
One team, one fight. When you're down range, you really are with each other. You depend on each other. Let me tell you, if you do get in a gunfight, I've never been in a gunfight, but I've talked to people in the situations. I don't know about you, but all that click shit, that bravado, that don't matter when you're fighting for your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it don't matter. Literally, it's crazy. I mean, well, I mean, so I remember seeing my date. So one number, the Copeland Center surveillance, he said, "You're a free man." So I looked at it. I had an honorable discharge certificate, which I was surprised I was going to get one. I thought it was only for people who ETS, honestly.
I didn't get one. They just gave me a 8214. That's why I was shocked when you showed me it.
Yeah, that was weird, man. Me was weird. I'm like, they gave it to me. And I checked my re-entry code. It was number 3, which was like, I'm like, I got a 3. So basically it means I could come back, but I need a waiver. But I don't know what my 2 psych ward. I don't know how to. I'm gonna be genuine with them if I want to come back into service.
The RE code is 3. You need a waiver, but what's more important is the SEP code. There's different SEP codes with RE3. Some SEP codes with RE3 are easier to get back in than others. Like me, all I had to do was wait 90 days. I even checked it. I went to the National Guard recruiter, told him, hey, here's my SEP code, here's my RE code. They said, oh, we can't do anything. You got to wait 90 days. Come back in 90 days and we can start the process. I went, oh, okay. That's all I had to do was wait 90 days and you can start the process. For you, it was what, 2 years?
Yeah, 18 to 24 months.
That's common behavior. They'll give you 2, sometimes 3 years, like, hey, get your mind right. That way, if you come back in and fuck up again, it's your fault, not the Army's fault. That's basically how it is.
Okay, but I know if I ever decide to come back in, it's not going to be my fault. Even this is not my fault also, because I tell you what caused me to be in that situation,
It was your fuck-ass leadership acting like they were just on their high horse. Like that female lieutenant. You better do this or I'll counsel you. Like, bitch, how about you shut the fuck up and do your job? How about you show him how to do his job? You know what I mean?
Female? No, it was Sergeant First Class.
No. Who counseled you? Said they were going to counsel you for the radio thing? Sergeant First Class?
Oh, S4. Yeah, S4.
Oh, I must have dozed off. I thought you said it was a lieutenant that told you to do that.
No. That so that happened, and it's been like 3 months since I've been out, dude. It's like, looking back at it, man, my leadership failed me. I don't blame myself, not even a bit. I told the National Guard recruiter also,
and he probably agrees with you, but unfortunately, he probably wants to get you in, but with the limits, that's why it sucks when there's different chapters. They put the limits on you, and
he was willing to help me out. Like he was. No doubt.
Exactly, but the limits of your chapter prevent him from taking it further than he wants it.
Facts.
It sucks. It really does. But man, this was a great interview. Just as shooting the shit. I hope it gets a lot of views.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Catch you later. See you in the next one.
Man.